Jeffrey Rath, part of the General Counsel with Stay Free Alberta, the organization leading this movement and the petition. Nice to see you again, Jeffrey.
Hey, Carolyn, nice to see you again.
Talk to me about this movement. You need 178,000 signatures on this petition so it can reach the legislature and then potentially spur a referendum. Have I got that right?
Yeah, and we're crushing those targets. I mean, we need 12 to make the 178,000. We need approximately 12,000 signatures a week. I mean, everybody's seen the lineups going out into the dark Alberta January nights everywhere we go. I mean, we're well ahead of that curve. Our actual goal is in excess of 1 million signatures so that we can demonstrate to the province of Alberta that a majority of Albertans will, in fact, vote for independence on a going forward basis. So, that's what we're working forward on. Hey, well, I've got you, though. I want to send a shout out to Mark Carney. I want to thank him for all of his great work as the leading proponent of Alberta independence. Because without him opening his mouth on a daily basis and saying the silly things that he says, like trying to declare war on the United States under Article 5 and him going to Davos and insulting the United States the way that he did, and all of the asinine things that he does, like declaring the New World Order, etc. Every time he opens his mouth, another 100,000 Albertans come to our banner, including people from the Pacific Rim who do not want to be governed by people that are affiliated with Communist China. So I want to thank him very much for making Alberta independence possible. We're very grateful.
Can we go back to the numbers for a second, Jeffrey? You want to
Sure.
reach 1 million. You need 178,000 to get this into the ledge. 1 million is a lot. There's 5 million people in Alberta. You think you're going to reach that?
It's 62,500 signatures a week, and we think that we can get on track. We're kind of a little bit behind the curve on that right now, just a little bit, because we're having trouble getting getting canvassing badges out, and I'm not allowed to say who's at fault for that, but that's fine. But we're getting there. I mean, we're now probably close to 5,000 canvassers. We have a 50,000 canvasser goal. We want to, we're getting our permanent locations for signing set up across the province. And then once we get that done and have achieved that objective with volunteers manning every permanent station, then we want to have a 87 constituency door-to-door, door-knocking signature campaign across every constituency in the province. We want to hit every door in the province. We think we can do it. We just need enough canvassing badges. So we're working on it. But the other day, I mean, we had 2,400 people show up at West Edmonton Mall for canvassing training sessions. We had to run 8 sessions of 300 people each because we only had a room that would hold 300 people. People are excited. I mean, if you saw the footage from the event last night in Calgary, we had over 4,000 people there. They were excited. They were energized. We had probably close to 10,000 people go through the Big Four yesterday to sign the petition and go home. We're thrilled with how it's going. I mean, the support from our fellow Albertans is overwhelming, and we're very, very, very energized by what's happening.
How many signatures do you have so far?
We're not going to say exactly. I'm going to tell you we're well ahead of the curve to make the 178, but
How come?
We're behind the curve to get to the million, and we're going to keep working pedal to the metal until we get there. And then we're going to have 2 huge events to celebrate the conclusion of this campaign, one at Rogers Place in Edmonton in early May and one at the Saddle Dome in Calgary. And we're confident we'll be able to fill both arenas by the end of this campaign with energetic, excited Albertans that are looking forward to a free and independent Alberta.
What does Alberta separation actually look like?
Well, it looks like we're going to have no more income tax, no more GST, no more carbon tax. We're going to get rid of all federal regulations of the oil and gas industry. We don't have to worry about the tanker ban because of free and independent Alberta. We've already been promised by Scott Bessent publicly that they would welcome a pipeline through the United States to the Pacific Northwest so we can service Korea, Japan, and the Pacific Rim market with Alberta oil and gas. It's going to be the wealthiest, least taxed, and least regulated jurisdiction in North America. So we're going to have a booming economy. We'll have the highest GDP per capita of any country in the world. Our children will have a future again. Kids will be able to afford rent. They'll be able to buy their own home before they turn 25. It's going to be back to the way it should be, and we're looking forward to it. We're all very, very excited about no longer having to spend $15 billion a year to Quebec. Another $10 billion a year to the Maritimes. God, even 500 million last year to Ontario, that big have-not province that, Doug Ford supposedly is running so well that he needs to take money from Alberta taxpayers to subsidize what he's doing because they cheat their books by keeping Hydro 1 revenue off of their books, right? So we're looking forward to getting out from underneath all of that and being treated like a resource colony by the rest of Canada. So again, Mark Carney, keep up the great work. We're very grateful to you for driving Albertans to leave Canada, and we're looking forward to a very shiny and prosperous future.
How does Alberta actually undo a tanker ban in BC?
Well, we don't need to undo a tanker ban in BC because Scott Bessent has opened the way to the Pacific Northwest in the United States. So the Canadian tanker ban becomes irrelevant. We don't care anymore at that point, right? And, and everybody, and Doug Ford, pay attention, because if we build a pipeline south through the United States, we're going to be using American steel. We won't be using Ontario steel. So, all of this, Mark Carney is literally cutting off his nose to spite his face by the way that he's treated Alberta. He hasn't repealed the tanker ban. He hasn't repealed the emissions cap, hasn't repealed the production cap, hasn't stopped talking about the planned, $540 a metric ton tax on carbon in Alberta. Keep in mind the carbon tax and industrial carbon tax in Quebec is $30 a ton, but Mark Carney wants a 600% increase on the carbon tax in Alberta to decarbonize Alberta oil. We're done. We can't handle this level of stupidity anymore. If Mark Carney were to impose the 6-fold increase on carbon tax that he's bragging about, it would destroy the Alberta oil and gas industry worse than the National Energy Program did, and would drive out any new investment in oil and gas in Alberta, which I'm sure is what he's intending.
Jeffrey Rath, appreciate your time. Sure you don't want to tell me how many numbers on that petition?
No. May 2nd, come to our event at the Saddle Dome, or come to our event at Rogers Place in Edmonton. You'll find out with everybody else, and you can interview all the happy Albertans that are there celebrating celebrating the Alberta Declaration of Independence petition meeting its goal.
Appreciate your time today. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Caroline. Nice seeing you again.
Jeffrey Rath, General Counsel with Stay Free Alberta.